How many times has everything been ready, analysis solid, setup in place, risk makes sense, but when the moment comes, your hand freezes on the mouse. You sit there for seconds, maybe minutes, thinking, doubting, second-guessing, and just when you finally decide to click, you see price has already taken off. If this scene feels familiar, this video is for you. This is about the fear of clicking the entry button, one of the most hidden, yet most dangerous psychological issues traders face. People talk a lot about fear of loss and revenge trading, but hardly anyone talks about the fear that shows up before you even get in. The exact moment when everything is ready and your own mind starts to sabotage you. In this video, we'll look at where this hesitation and doubt comes from and how you can finally take back control over this critical moment. Part 1. What hesitation and doubt actually look like. Let's first paint a clear picture of this state. You've done your analysis, you've defined your entry zone, stop loss, and target. But as you get close to hitting buy or sell, your mind starts firing questions. What if it reverses right now? What if this candle is a fake out? Should I wait for the next candle? Maybe I need one more confirmation. While you're lost in this endless inner dialogue, price does its thing and you're left watching from the sidelines. Part 2. The psychology behind fear of clicking. Fear of being wrong more than fear of losing money. Very often, your deepest fear isn't actually losing money. What really scares you is being wrong. You're afraid to enter and then watch the market prove your analysis was off, and that hits your ego and your self-image much harder than the financial loss itself. So you try to postpone the moment you might have to face being wrong, and that's why you keep delaying your entry. The second route is painful past experiences. Think about the times when you clicked and the market instantly rushed straight to your stop. These memories stay on your mind like anchors. Every time you hover near the entry button again, your brain pulls those scenes back up and quietly whispers, "Careful, what if it happens again?" The result is hesitation, doubt, and missing the move. The third route is perfectionism. Your mind says, wait until everything is 100% perfect, then enter. But markets never give you 100% certainty. The perfectionist trader keeps hunting for extra confirmation until the entire opportunity is gone, or enters so late that the risk-to-reward profile is no longer attractive. Part 3. 3 practical ways to overcome click fear. Solution 1. Define a clear entry trigger. Step 1 is to make your entry trigger crystal clear. If your rule is something vague like, I'll enter when the setup looks good, your mind has way too much room to argue and negotiate. But when you define it precisely, for example, if price reaches this zone, this type of candle forms, and this minimum risk to reward is in place, I enter with no debate. Then the entry stops being a last-minute emotional decision and simply becomes following a rule. Solution 2. Practice entering with a very small size. The second method is to break the fear by reducing the pressure of risk. If your usual position size creates a lot of stress, intentionally decide to trade with a very small size for a while. Small enough that even if it hits your stop, it barely bothers you mentally. The goal here is not to make big profits. The goal is to teach your brain the act of clicking itself is not dangerous, so you can gradually rebuild confidence in taking entries. Solution 3. A journal focused on the moment before entry. The third method is to shift your journaling towards that moment right before you enter. Every time you have a setup and you hesitate to pull the trigger, take 1 minute and write down exactly what am I afraid of right now. If I enter and it hits my stop, what story about myself gets threatened? Over time, you'll notice that a big part of your fear isn't about the market at all. It's about the stories in your head about who you are and what being successful should look like. Here's a concrete exercise. For your next 10 setups, before you decide whether to enter or skip, do 3 things. First, mark your entry trigger clearly on the chart and write down the exact conditions for entry. Second, set your position size so that if this trade hits your stop, it won't crush you mentally. And third one, before the trigger candle closes, make a decision, either enter according to your rule or cancel the setup completely and write down your reason in your journal. Now, it's your turn to be honest with yourself. Is it harder for you to click the entry button or to click the exit button? And when you can't make up your mind, what's the biggest fear hiding behind that hesitation? Tell us in the comments. Right now, what scares you more? Being wrong in your analysis, losing money, or damaging the image you have of yourself? Those comments will be reviewed, and the most common answer will become the focus of a separate video that works exactly on that specific fear.